Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Well, it's Friday, so the day of the week we turn to the BonBon buddies over on Patreon and say, hey guys, vote us in a map, and they've gone with this one. At the second time of asking, actually. It was originally released in April 2019, went up for the Patreon vote May of last year, was unsuccessful, and then this month finally gets its big moment. Now it is...
It's my first map.
That's right. But also, it's their last map as well. They've made nothing since. The only item on the workshop from them, other than a review for Disco Elysium, which apparently is a really good game, so I've heard. Anyway, before we do any of that though, we've got... a daily reminder. That's right, clicking that like button really does support the channel, gets me seen by more people, helps me grow a little bit more every single day. Thank you for your support. Today's map is Kingston by ONW7. Now Kingston, you're probably thinking Jamaica. That's what I was thinking. Apparently no, this is a bit of a mishmash of two different locations. There's your start square. Start square looks perfectly fine to me. We'll talk about those locations in a moment, don't worry. There's your terrain heights. Yeah, it's basically a pretty standard river valley, river delta. The resources strong, loads of oil in those mountains. So is that oil? It is oil, isn't it? Yeah. And then we've got fishing. If you've got Sunset Harbour and you want to do some fishing, we actually have everything, just about. Off to the workshop. What do we need? Well, there were a few things, not many. Old leafy tree and the wild bush plants help, and then Springwood theme and Springwood LUT. A little bit of a description there telling you about the inspiration for the map. Now, the inspiration came from the terrain party map from East Bay, which is apparently near San Francisco, and then, but also the waterways, which are based on Sydney Harbour. Well, there's a mix. There is definitely a mix going on there, I feel. I'm all good. Anything that adds a little bit of creativity into the game, I am good with. So, yeah, now let's have a little look down here. We've got a little bit of road stress along on the right-hand side here, which is where the terrain is just a little bit dipped down below the road level. We'll nip down and have a look at when we find a little heavily stressed area. We'll have a little look at it. It's not a huge problem. It's just something that is just shy of perfection, and shy of perfection is something that I think we should definitely improve upon. You know, we want perfection. We want all of our work, and I'm not having a go at ONW7 here. We've all made mistakes. Trust me, I've made many. And if you've watched as many What's Maps as I think you might have done, yeah, there you go. There's some stress here. There you go. So yeah, terrain alignment. It's just a little bit of a stress on the road texture, but it's not a big problem. There are bigger problems to come. At least we haven't got loads of trees in the roads, because that's something we've seen quite a lot just recently. And yeah, just to reconfirm, if you've been watching recently and you've been wondering why has there been so many trees in the roads lately, it's down to anarchy settings. I've said it a few times, but I think I need to say it a few times more, because there's always somebody new coming into the show and they'll say, hang on a second, hang on, I don't know about this. So yeah, anarchy settings. Now, I see it as standard settings to have anarchy switched to always on. Unless, of course, the instructions say not to. It's because detailers are going to want to use anarchy. Now, admittedly, if a map is 100% vanilla and designed to be played as 100% vanilla, well, that's a different story altogether. But trees underneath roads are not a good thing, because they still count into the tree count. So it's actually good practice not to have them under the roads. So this is one of the anyway. Speaking about under the roads, this is good practice. Rail under the road. The road stays level there, and it's just got a natural cutting, and you've just got this lovely little rail line running at the little bit of road stress just there as well where it's just a little bit of a blunt ending. Got a little bit of foliage on the railway line there, just a hint, just one little bush there. Bigger problem over this side. Again, not game breaking, but I think it's a little bit low. I think it's just a wee bit low on this side. Yes, there's a bit of a gradient thing going on there, but I don't think this is a map that is that worried about rail gradients. But well, I mean, we mentioned it once. We might mention it a second time, possibly, maybe. But it's not a hideous map for gradients, if that's what you're looking for. Or I do like the way that the highways split here. We get this little hill in the middle, and then it comes back together. And the trees in between just works really very nicely for me along here. So all credit there. Yeah, we'll be taking there's a couple of extra rail routes. We're not going to come back down this route. So yes, I did see another tree on the line there as well. But again, there are some bigger problems that we'll see later on, rather than an odd stray bit of tufty grass on the railway line. Okay, but nothing game breaking. What we have got though is, having gone from good practice where we had the rail going underneath the road and it was all very slick, here we've got an up and over. These are not very pretty at all, very base game standard actually, I'm afraid. And then we've got the same happening again over here. So what's happened is we've had the rail go up and over the road and then up and over the road again. And there's a simple solution to this. Just draw the line around like that, simple as that, and then you wouldn't have had this. And I mean, that's got to be the loss of half a star, easily half a star, just for those two things there in terms of detailing. Then we have the big old bridge. Everybody loves a big old bridge. It actually talks in the description about the big old bridge being the center point of the city build. Have a little bit of an issue with the on-ramp. One side over here is elevated, the other one's at ground level. I think they should be identical up to the same point. And then, yeah, everybody loves a big old bridge, and there it is. Lovely big old suspension bridge. Can you see it yet? Yes, of course you can. Over here we have an elevated road bridge. Why haven't we got suspension on this side as well? Is that intended? Is that intended? Anyway, the down ramps over this side are beautiful. They're almost perfectly aligned. Certainly well enough aligned for them to be not a problem at all. Then a little bit of a breaking of the symmetry to be able to go. It could be parallel road tool here actually. This is very smooth. So again, switching between the roads and the highways here. I'm assuming it's parallel road tool. If not, it's pretty fine work the way that they've kept the equidistance along here. That's quite nicely done indeed. So we're going to whiz across the environment a little bit now. We're going to take in mind that the little problem that we're going to see in a moment is actually quite close to the edge of the map. So is it going to be a problem? And yeah, if you're playing with the fog switched on, you're not going to notice that. Oh, I've got another tufty little bit of foliage on the road there. So yes, the closer you get to the edge of the map, the less important things become, because we're not supposed to seek them anyway. We're just not. So anything, it's certainly in the final tile, becomes not very important. Anything in the last half tile, really not very important. But of course, we should still be looking for the same sort of standards right the way up to the edge of the map. It's just when things go wrong, if they're going to go wrong, having them go wrong close to the edge of the map is the place for them to go wrong. I'm making a big thing about it because it's all going to go wrong in a moment. Okay, obviously traffic is flowing, so it's not broken in any way, and that's the most important thing. But yes, we've got a whole copse of trees here. It's obviously a trunk road. Yes, I got to throw in another trunk joke there. But yes, we've got a few splattered around over here, over the road, and it's not a. Look how close we are to the edge. But I feel, yeah, they shouldn't be there, should they? Then down to the rail. Again, we've got some minor gradient issues probably along here. I'm not going to check. It's not a huge issue at all. Now there are there are four rail lines. We're going to look at, well, we've already seen one of them. This is the second, and we'll take a look at the third one when we come back after the intermission, because I feel it's only right that we don't just go along the coast, we actually go out up into the map. And the only way to do that will be via the rail, because we have a line going right the way up that way. So we'll do that after the intermission, which will be coming up in a few short moments. Don't go away. Don't go away. And so back to Kingston by Owen.W7. That's such a hard name to read. Okay, 2 shipping routes. They dead end right in the harbour there. Do we need 2? Would 1 have been enough? Arguably. Maybe. Not a big problem though, is it? Water flow. We have good, strong water flow. So if you're looking for a strong river that actually works as a river, that's an interesting shape, and let's face it, this river is an interesting shape based on Sydney Harbour, so one would hope so. I would say that this is definitely going to work for you. So yeah, a good strong river running through the map. No problem. Right, okay, now the rail. We've came in from this way. That's the up and over the highway bridge. And then the rail ends here. But just across the other side of this, of the big old bridge, we have another rail line. And we're going to scoot very quickly over this one. I think there's a little bit of a dip there by the shoreline. And river bank. Yes, just a little bit of a dip away there. Again, it's not a big problem at all. These are all minor, middly things to grumble about. We do have it's a branch line. Yes, I get to the branch line joke as well. And this just heads off to. Actually, I like this. It's a good straight rail. There's no reason for this rail to bend off left, right, or centre. It's centre is what it's done. Straight up and out. There is a fourth line, but we're not going to look at it. It's fine. It does exactly the same. Liking the shapes of the hills, and I'm liking the choices of the foliage, but I'm just not feeling that the foliage is accenting the hills too well. I like the choices. Just feel that maybe, I mean, in places it does. I feel just a little bit more time, a few more hours spent tree painting. It's not bad. It's just not. It's this way. It's quite good. It's just not exceptional. But hey, it's my first map, so it's pretty damn good regardless. Yeah. Plenty of space to build down the middle of the map, and we've also got some islands. We've got this island over here. I think this is drowned trees. Could it be marshland? I'm thinking no. I'm thinking if this is a San Francisco Bay area, this is salt water, I feel. So therefore, I'm probably wrong. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. But I feel that is probably just a little bit paddly. Then if we come over here, we've got another. I'm going to call it an island. It's not. It is actually connected to the edge of the map, but let's assume it's an island. And there are a few bits of foliage dotted around under the water here. These little shrubs. Again, we're right at the edge of the map, deep in the fog. Come under the water there, just have a little few. Just a few. It's not huge amounts. There's just a few dotted around. And then back over to the mainland. We've got some beaches. I think the beaches are okay. I don't think they're outstanding. The tree on the beach there, I don't think that's the right sort of foliage for the beach. It needs to be moved inland just a little bit. But the shrubs look okay. And we've got another little beach here, which looks like it's a big old sand dune. That's fine, and some nice looking cliffs too. Now, I hope you've got your scuba gear, because we're going for a little swim back under the water there. And yeah, we have one over here. Definitely wearing his trunks. Just one sole little tree, all on its own in the middle of the bay there. Right, anyway, start square. Looks pretty flat to me. Nice and easy to build on. got to be a good thing. And if we head over this way, we have got something that's perfect for the riverside. More importantly for the docks. This is Wharf 2 by cbudd. And it's just, I just love the shape of it. This is the second one of this kind of set. And they're just great. You can build these docks on an angle. This is just an amazing building. I can't say how much of a fan of cbudd I am with work like this. Stunning work. Factoids. Because factoids. Where would we be without factoids? Talking about Wharf 2 probably. The surface area of one human lung, just the one, doesn't matter which one, just one of them, yeah, is equal to that of a tennis court. Equal? Exactly equal? It's very specific. Anyway, sorry. What would the spermia say and the lung say? What have we got tomorrow? Anyway, Wharf 2 by cbudd. This is stunning work. Big fan. Big fan. Today's asset of the day. Right, okay. Kingston by ONW7. This is a map with a lot of promise, a lot of build space, and a lot of opportunity for you to air your opinion now by heading over to the voting page. Click the I button now in the top right hand corner of your screen. I'll take you to the voting page where you can vote for free. Is this a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. But what do I think? Well, aesthetically, there's a lot I like about this. I don't think it is threatening to be a 4-star map. But there's enough to like about it. I like the shape. I think it's interesting. I think that the tree selection is excellent and they've kept it very simple. And I'm going to give it a solid 3. 3 stars is fine. Detailing. I really want to give this 3 stars. But I think there's just 1 or 3 too many things, especially with the bridge being non-symmetrical. That for me is kind of the deal breaker. If that was symmetrical, I'd probably go to low 3. I've got to go for a high 2. There's just a few too many little things to fix. And then gameplay potential. Yeah, I think this is pretty playable. I'm not inspired by it, but I'm not turned off by it, and it certainly works. I want to go down the middle, pass mark again. 3 stars, absolutely fine. You take on Kingston by ONW7, and you're not going to be too disappointed. In fact, I don't think you'll be disappointed at all. Unless you're looking for something truly glorious, but how many times do you want to build on the truly glorious? Sometimes you just want to build. Build a nice riverside city. Boom. That's the map for you, yeah? Yeah, go on, off you go then. Anyway, thanks for watching, for commenting, for liking and for subscribing. Use the words of the day, use your voice into the comments to score yourself 100 population points just for fun. And I'll be back tomorrow with another map in the What's Map series. Final one of the week. I wonder what we'll have.